no surprise that side-by-sides, and yes, now even ATVs are coming with touchscreens and built-in navigation, but when it comes to your Ford truck or SUV, if you didn't opt for the big screen from the factory, I got a pretty cool company who can help you out. FordSync4.com has all-in-one upgrade kits for your F150, F250, Bronco, Maverick, and yes, even the Explorer, and they take your stock 8-inch screen in this F150 up to the 12-inch premium model. And no, these aren't Android kits or anything that you see on eBay or Amazon. These are actual Ford replacement parts, and they work exactly the same way as your stock screen would. So let's see what's included in this upgrade kit. The new 12-inch screen comes already pre-mounted in a direct replacement bezel. We'll be reusing all the factory switches and vents, as well as any plugs that cover areas your truck might have added features. A complete lower replacement bezel is also included that relocates the stereo push controls and houses the factory HVAC controls as well. Add to this the new wiring harness, as well as the APIM module that's pre-programmed to include navigation, and I'm ready to do this install. You can also opt for the jump seat version if you don't have a center console in your truck. Now, the stock 8-inch screen in this Ford is actually pretty decent, but it's limited to what it can show on one screen due to the size. And the upgrade here is really what we're looking to gain, is getting all of those different features shown on one screen while driving. Installation isn't too hard to do. You can do this with a few simple tools for prying off the different bezels and plugs, and it's only going to take you maybe a few hours at most. You start off by removing the main top pod bezel, a rubber tray, some screws, and a plastic snap-in liner. Then you move to the bezel between the screen and the HVAC controls and remove that along with the center console sides, giving us access to all of the screws we need to remove both the screen and the HVAC controls. Now, sometimes it does feel a little daunting to pull and pop parts and pieces of your truck because you don't want to break anything. So just take your time, go slow. It's all going to come apart. Remember, this thing was put together in about 12 seconds on an assembly line, so give yourself a couple hours. You can do this. Next, we remove the HVAC plate and unplug all the connectors for the power ports. A few more screws and then the bezel will come right off. Unplugging all the switches is key here. The screen is held in by 2 recessed screws that are a little tricky to get to, as well as 4 face screws that have easy access. Pull the screen forwards and remove the rear plugs. Now you'll see the stock APIM that needs to have the factory wire harness removed. These are not hard to access, just again, work slow and take your time. Swap out the stock APIM for the new FordSync4.com model, and then rewire the APIM using the included wiring harness in the kit that links to the stock wiring harness, as well as the new APIM. Now at this point, you're going to need to remove the vents, the switches, and all the plugs from the old screen bezel and relocate them into the new one. Then you're also going to have to take out the stereo controls and the HVAC controls and relocate them into the new stereo HVAC bezel as well. Again, this is pretty easy to swap out. Just remember that the vehicle manufacturers have lots of retention clips and small tabs that will break if you force them too hard. Everything snaps back into the new face plates, ready for you to install. Attach the wires as color-coded on the back of the new screen, and then place the screen back into the dash of the truck. Repeat the same steps for the newer HVAC faceplate and replace all screws that were removed. Snap back in all the bezels around the center console and the screen, and ensure all parts mesh up properly. So we've now successfully installed our 12-inch screen. Let's turn it on and see how everything works. And remember, you might have some on-screen settings that need to be adjusted. The new screen is massive compared to the old 8-inch version and puts far more info on the screen all at once. I can switch between all kinds of combinations of screens, and the thing that I like best about the kit from FordSync4.com is that I'm using a stock interface with stock Fomoco parts, not an aftermarket system running some random OS. Not only does this give me the confidence to use this kit, it's also nice to know that when it comes time to trade it in or sell the truck, I have a factory 12-inch screen that works 100% the same as if I had paid for the screen upgrade from Ford directly. And that is money in the bank. Whether your vehicle's brand new or a few years old, the team at FordSync4.com have the kit available for you to upgrade your screen to the larger version. Maybe you bought a used vehicle that was perfect except for the screen, or maybe you opted for a lower-end brand new truck and you want to upgrade a little bit down the road. Doesn't matter what it is, FordSync4.com has you covered.